So the thing is, we have been dealing with this situation in my hometown of Muncie, Indiana, where over the course of the last couple weeks, we've been trying to get to the bottom. My pronoun is bitch. I can deal with that, Charlize. I love it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can dig it. We've been getting to the bottom of this great, I'm going to call it a cover-up. All right. There's a couple things here that we talk about always on this show that I've been talking about since 2016. And that is corruption does not always mean illegal. Okay. People get that confused all the time. I'll say this government's corrupt, or that government's corrupt, or this person is acting in a corrupt manner. And they will say, well, they've not done anything illegal. And I say, I didn't say they did anything illegal. If they had done something illegal, I would have said this mayor was illegal, or this council person was illegal, this or that. Okay. Oh yes, I am much better, Jeff. I am getting much better. Thank you. I'm getting back to my show voice. Thank you very much. But corruption does not always, it doesn't mean illegal. You can have corruption that is not illegal. You can have corruption that is very much illegal. But you can have corruption that is just immoral, unethical, going against their what they've ran on, going against what their promises were to the people that they were running for and supposed to be, serving. So that's the number one thing that you have to understand. The number two thing that you have to understand is a cover-up does not always have to be illegal. You don't always have to cover up something that's illegal. You can cover up something that just makes you look bad, something that's immoral, something that is unethical, something that does not do well for your image, and it's just as bad. All right? I do not have a problem with the Jennings. All right? I do not have a problem with the developers, the father and son company, the Jennings. I don't have a problem with them. In my opinion, unless proven otherwise, they were just good business people. They got wind of a deal. They heard that the city was looking to transform the old Delaware County Jail. The Delaware County Jail used to be owned by Delaware County, and then in 2021, it was transferred to the city of Muncie. And then the city of Muncie was wanting to transform it into a parking garage, wanting to somehow turn it into a beauty space downtown. And then they got this crazy idea that, hey, wait, we can make it a living space. Now, to me, that sounds absolutely insane, because I don't care what they do to it. I don't care how beautiful they make it. I don't care what they do with the entrance, the exits, and how completely transformed from the jail that it is. To me, that place is always going to be the Delaware County Jail. Hell, the name of their business wrapped around that is Justice Parking and Condominiums. It's that way even for them. So we as a city learned last year that the mayor of Muncie, okay, the man that was supposed to be this white horse coming in after 7.5 years of an FBI investigation, after all kinds of corruption, whether it's legal or illegal, all kinds of dirty dealings, elected officials, appointed officials, employees, business people in the community being investigated by the FBI, being interviewed by the FBI, being placed into handcuffs by the FBI, being indicted, being convicted or pleading guilty, and serving time. After all of that, Mayor Dan Ridenour was supposed to ride in and be this man in the white horse. He was going to do everything right. But almost instantly, I saw through the bullshit. Now, I hate it because I didn't see it soon enough. I pushed him, I peddled him for 2 years. To my listeners, to you, to people that don't listen to me out on the street. I worked hard for Dan. I wanted Dan to win. We already have a lot of vacant homes that could either be revitalized here in Muncie, many that need to be torn down, a waste of money, not just in Muncie, but the country. John, absolutely, absolutely. I jokingly said that Dan is on a mission to tear down every home in Muncie, and for every home, he wants to put up 2 apartments. I will not understand what this guy is doing. He believes that we're transforming Muncie into Carmel. He thinks that we're going to make Muncie, we're going to make Muncie Noblesville, that we're going to turn Prairie Creek Reservoir into Geist. As I am old enough to remember the giant fiasco getting that jail built, I thought that site required an exorcism and demolished and starting new. Absolutely, Charlize. I remember all of the craziness that brought in that jail from the late 80s to the early 90s. That's how long I've been paying attention to local politics. When I was a very small little weirdo boy at 8, 9, 10 years old, 12 years old, 7 years old, running in the backs of council meetings and up in political fiascos and all of that. I remember every bit of that. I'm 40 years old. I remember when this came in and it was such nonsense. And I agree with you 100%. Nate the Great, I absolutely agree with you in that sentiment there. These people are supposed to be Republicans. They're supposed to be conservatives. They don't look like any conservatives that I want doing anything for me. I was a conservative for a long time, and I have abandoned these people. Jackie, the Jennings remodeled the church on East North Street. Yes, ma'am. Now called the North Church Venue. Beautiful facility. I am not going to argue that these gentlemen don't do great work. They do. I have no problems with them whatsoever. And until I find out otherwise, okay, and I'm not looking really, it might just stumble upon me, but until I find out otherwise, they're just good businessmen that could not pass up this excellent deal. Ridenour came to them, Delaware County Advancement Corporation came to them, and between the Delaware Advancement Corp and the city of Muncie and the Jennings, they cooked up this deal where for $100 they were to get this building. On top of getting the building, they were to get $600,000 for their trouble. They were to get the insurance paid for a little over a year. They were to get utilities paid for a little over a year. Here's the problem. None of this did we know. None of this did we know. We found out after the fact that the mayor went to the Board of Works through the controller and had $600,000 approved to go into the title company and would be farmed out to these developers. Yeah, I just got there. It was to be farmed out to these developers. The issues with the fact that the mayor was lacking transparency in what seems to be a very shitty deal for taxpayers. Because let's not forget the fact, and we've not been talking about something that's very, very, very important. I'm gonna tell you right here, folks. I'm gonna tell you right here. Not only did the city of Muncie give a building away that can be transformed to be an amazing, beautiful structure. I wouldn't want to live there. It can be a beautiful structure. Not only did we give that away for $100, not only did we give them $600,000, not only did we pay for the insurance of the building, not only did we pay for their water, their heat, and their electricity for over a year to the tune of nearly $70,000. We still don't know how much we paid in insurance. I'm working on getting that information through record requests. We still don't know that. But we also entered into a 30-year contract. One man, Dan Ridenour, entered into a 30-year-long contract with these developers and Delaware Advancement Corporation for the city of Muncie. For the city of Muncie to pay the following amount of money. For 30 years, the city will pay $11,700 for parking spaces in the basement of that building. That will come to a grand total on that deal of $351,000. For 15 years, the city of Muncie will pay for first floor parking spaces in that facility at the tune of $30,888 a year, which equals $463,320 for those 15 years. So if you add $351,000, $463,000 together, that comes out to a grand total of $814,320 for parking spaces that Dan Ridenour entered into. So the problem here, folks, someone's getting kickbacks and perks somewhere. Otherwise, there would be no need to create this sweet of a deal. All this is suspicious AF. And let me tell you, John, this is not, all right? This is not the first deal that this mayor has ran this way. And here's the thing, Dan knows how to use Delaware County Advancement Corporation. Everybody always said that was a Dennis Tyler thing, that Dennis would do this and do that with Delaware County Advancement Corporation and whatnot. I've not seen anybody use Delaware County Advancement Corporation the way that I've seen Dan Ridenour use it. Dan Ridenour, nothing new. Dan Ridenour, promises made, promises broken. Dan Ridenour, lie, hide, and cower. Dan Ridenour, Dan, he's our man. If he can't screw us, no one can. Dan Ridenour, I'll pay it out of edit. I got edit money. Edit money for days. We make it rain. We make it rain in here. You know, that's This is not transparency. This is not accountability. This is not what Dan ran on. What's the difference between this and anything else? What's the difference between this and anything else?